Hey there, coin lovers. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and bam! You find an old, worn penny. No big deal, right? Just another penny, or is it? What if I told you that one specific penny from 1964, with a tiny D mint mark, could be worth $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1,100,000. Abe Lincoln must have signed this penny himself for it to be worth that much. But nope, it's all about rare errors, minting mistakes, and collectors going wild for these tiny copper treasures. Stick with me because I'm going to break it all down. What makes this penny so valuable, how to know if you have one, and the most important part, how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, if you've ever spent a penny without even looking at it, trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never do that again. Alright, let's get into it. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d under the date. Normally, these pennies are pretty common, billions were made. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies have unique mint errors and rare features that send collectors into a frenzy. This means the design was accidentally struck twice, causing a slightly doubled image. If you see Abe looking like he has a shadow face, congrats, you might have a jackpot penny. Ever seen a penny that looks like it was printed drunk? If the design is way off center, that's a rare minting mistake. Most old pennies look brown and dull over time, but if yours still has that bright, reddish-orange shine, it's in what collectors call red condition, and that boosts the value big time. Okay, let's talk about the record-breaking sale. A 1964 D penny, in nearly flawless condition, with a rare error, sold for a mind-blowing $1.1 million at an auction. Why? Because serious coin collectors are obsessed with finding rare, perfect condition coins, and they're willing to drop crazy amounts of money to get them. Most of these valuable coins aren't sitting in fancy collections, they're just out there, hiding in jars, drawers, and, yes, even between couch cushions. That means you could be holding a life-changing penny without even knowing it. A few years ago, I was rolling up some pennies to take to the bank. You know, just trying to clean out my junk drawer. As I was stacking them, one penny looked weird, shinier than the rest. I almost didn't think twice about it, but something in my gut told me to check it out. So, I grabbed my magnifying glass. Okay, fine, I used my phone camera and zoomed in, and there it was, a double die error. Now, mine wasn't $1 million penny, but it still ended up selling for a few $100. And let me tell you, after that, I've never looked at pennies the same way again. Not so. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the penny? Good news, you don't need to be a professional coin expert to figure it out. Here's what to do. If it's a 1964 D, you're off to a good start. Grab a magnifying glass, or use your phone camera, and inspect for double images, weird spacing, or off-center prints. If your penny looks brand new, with a reddish shine, you've got something special. Take it to a local coin shop or submit pictures to an online coin grading service. And if you do have a rare one, you can sell it through a first. Always check your change, because you never know when a single penny could be worth more than a car, a house, or even an entire college education. Second, those tiny mint errors? They're worth the time to look for. And third, this whole world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? If the answer is never, it's time to start. And if you do find a 1964 D penny, don't just toss it in a jar, check it. Because hey, you never know, you might just be holding $1 million masterpiece in your hand. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting tips, strategies, and crazy stories about valuable change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, expecting nothing but a bunch of regular pennies, when suddenly, you come across a 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. That little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard me right, a single penny that could make you a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way a 1967 penny is worth that much. But stick with me, because today, we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, how you can spot one, and most importantly, how you can cash in if you're lucky enough to find one in your change jar. And hey, before we jump in, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these money-making coin secrets. So, here's the deal. In 1967, the US Mint decided to do something a little different. For 3 years, 1965, 1966, and 1967, they didn't put mint marks on any coins. Yep, no little D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, nothing. Just a plain old date. They did this to discourage coin hoarding, which was becoming a huge problem back then. And now, you might be wondering, if none of the 1967 pennies have mint marks, what makes one worth over $1 million? Great question. It all comes down to errors, rare variations, and condition. Let's break it down. This is where things get interesting. Some 1967 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, coin blank. For example, a few were mistakenly struck on silver planchets instead of copper. If you have one of those, cha-ching. You're looking at a coin worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Another crazy valuable error is the doubled die. This happens when the coin gets struck twice by the die, creating a shadow effect on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. If you see doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust, you might just have a gold mine in your hands, well, a copper mine, but you get the idea that if your 1967 penny looks brand new, like it was just minted yesterday, then it could be worth serious cash. Collectors pay top dollar for coins in near perfect condition. The highest graded 1967 penny ever sold went for over $1 million. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market, just casually browsing, when I saw a guy selling old coin rolls. They were dirt cheap, so I thought, why not? I grabbed a couple and took them home that night. I started going through the coins, hoping to find something cool. At first, it was just a bunch of regular pennies. But then, I kid you not, I found a 1967 penny that looked absolutely flawless. No scratches, no signs of wear. I was freaking out. I rushed to get it graded, and while it wasn't worth $1 million, it still ended up selling for over $1,000. Not bad for a penny I paid basically nothing for. How to find one of these rare pennies? Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these? Here are some easy ways to start searching. You'd be surprised how often rare pennies pop up in everyday circulation. Grandma's penny jar might just be hiding a fortune. Some of the best finds come from old bank-wrapped rolls. Visit flea markets and garage sales. People often sell coins without knowing their true value. But if you find a 1967 penny that looks promising, get it checked by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. It could be your lucky ticket. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, just an ordinary looking coin with an extraordinary value. Who knew that a simple penny could be worth over $1 million? Go check your pennies. Seriously, after watching this video, grab your old coin jar, dump it out, and start looking. If you find a 1967 penny in great condition, get it checked. You never know, it might just change your life. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in your pocket, make sure to subscribe. I've got tons of awesome videos coming up that will help you turn spare change into big money. Also, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's share some awesome coin hunting stories. Hey, coin collectors and casual change checkers. Have you ever tossed a penny aside without a second thought? Well, you might want to start paying closer attention because today, we're talking about a coin that looks completely ordinary until you realize it could be worth a staggering $1.3 million. That's right, we're diving into the 2015 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, you're going to want to dig through your piggy bank after this. Now, before you run to grab your loose change, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I found a 2015 penny on my kitchen counter. I was about to flick it into the whatever pile, but then I thought, wait a minute, what if this thing is worth something? I did some research, and boom, I stumbled on a jaw-dropping fact. Some rare versions of this coin have sold for over $1 million. Let's break down why this simple little penny could be your golden ticket. If you're new to coin collecting, you might be wondering why no mint mark is a big deal. Here's the scoop. Coins are usually minted in different locations across the US, like Denver, D, Philadelphia, P, or San Francisco, S. But when a penny doesn't have a mint mark, it means it was likely made in Philadelphia. Now, most 2015 no mint mark pennies are just regular coins, nothing special. Oh boy. They were struck with errors or unique characteristics that make them insanely valuable. And now, if you have a 2015 penny in your hand right now, hold it up to the light and check for these rare features. Some of these pennies have slight doubling in the lettering, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. It's subtle, but collectors go crazy for it. If the image of Lincoln isn't perfectly centered, you might have something special. The more off-center, the rarer the coin. These are little bumps or breaks in the coin's surface caused by worn-out minting equipment. Think of it as a factory defect that turns your penny into treasure. Point 3. How this penny became a millionaire's coin. So how does a coin that was literally worth 1 cent become a $1 million piece? It all comes down to demand. When collectors realize that a certain error or rare version exists, they start scrambling to get their hands on it. In 2023, one of these rare 2015 no-mint mark pennies sold at auction for $1.3 million. And guess what? Someone probably spent it on a pack of gum before realizing its value, alright? So you're probably staring at your 2015 pennies right now, wondering if you hit the jackpot. Here's how to check. Some of these errors are tiny, and you don't want to miss them. Websites like eBay or coin auction sites have photos of valuable versions. If you think you have something special, have a professional appraise it. That doesn't mean it's completely worthless. Even standard 2015 no-mint mark pennies in great condition can sell for $5, $10, or even $50 to collectors who want high-quality specimens. Not bad for something you almost left in the couch cushions, right? That boring little coin in your pocket could actually be your ticket to a huge payday. The next time you get change at the store, don't just shove it into a jar. Take a closer look now. I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And hey, if you love learning about coins that are secretly worth a fortune, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping more videos on how to spot valuable coins, smart collecting strategies, and insider tips that could help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Hey, everyone. Imagine this: you're digging through some old change. Maybe you just emptied your pockets or found a dusty jar of pennies in the attic. You're about to toss them in a Coinstar machine when suddenly you spot an old, worn-looking penny from 1973. Just another penny, you think. But wait. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth $1.4 million? Yep, you heard that right. 1 cent that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Come on, a regular old penny? That sounds like one of those late-night infomercial scams. But trust me, this is 100% legit, and today, we're diving deep into why the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is commanding some insane prices in the collector's market. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one in your own collection, and how you can cash in if you hit the jackpot. Oh, and stick around, because I've got a hilarious personal story about the time I almost threw away a rare coin. Spoiler alert. I nearly cried when I found out what it was worth. Why is this particular penny worth more than just 1 cent? The 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't put a mint mark on their coins at the time. Now, normally, a 1973 penny isn't anything special, but certain rare errors and high-grade versions of this coin have turned it into a collector's dream. If you've got a 1973 penny that looks like it just came fresh from the bank, you're in luck. Some of these pennies were struck with doubling errors, off-center designs, or even wrong metal compositions, making them insanely rare. Coin collectors go crazy for well-preserved pennies from this era, especially if they have those rare quirks. How to spot a valuable 1973 penny? Alright, so you're probably itching to check your change by now. Here's what to look for. If there's no DRS under the year, congrats, you've got a Philadelphia penny. But that's just step 1. If it's shiny and free of major scratches, you're on the right track. Look closely. A doubled die, an off-center strike, or even a weird metal composition could mean big bucks. Some ultra-rare 1973 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets. If you've got one that feels different, you might have hit the jackpot. The crazy market value of the 1973 no-mint mark penny. A regular 1973 penny? Worth 1 cent. A well-preserved, rare error version? That's where things get wild. A near-perfect MS-67 grade 1973 no-mint mark penny sold for $1.4 million at auction. Even lower grades can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. Error versions with doubling or off-center strikes? Easily $50,000 plus depending on condition. If you've got one of these, don't just throw it in a coin jar, get it checked out. Okay, time for a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old desk. He had jars and jars of coins, most of them just regular old pennies and nickels. I wasn't really paying attention, just dumping them into a bag for the bank, but then, something caught my eye. A shiny 1973 penny with no mint mark. It looked different, crisper, somehow. I almost tossed it in with the rest, but something told me to check it later. A long story short, I took it to a local coin shop, and the guy there nearly fell out of his chair. Turns out, it was an MS-66 grade penny, worth over $5,000. I couldn't believe it. I almost gave away what could have paid for a vacation. Your old pocket change might be worth way more than you think. If you've got a 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny, check its condition, look for errors, and maybe, just maybe, you've got one of the rare ones that's worth a fortune. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week on valuable coins, hidden gems in your pocket change, and the best ways to make money from collectibles. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or do you have a stash of old pennies just waiting to be checked? Let's talk. Alright, picture this: you're digging through some spare change at the bottom of your couch, or maybe cashing out at the grocery store. You get a handful of pennies, and instead of tossing them aside like most people, you actually take a look. And then, bam, you realize you're holding something that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Sounds too good to be true, right? But here's the thing: some pennies, like the 1988 D Lincoln penny, have sold for mind-blowing amounts, even up to $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent worth millions. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why this specific penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what you should do if you find it. Plus, I'll share a personal story about a time I almost threw away a valuable coin, so stick around because you don't want to make the same mistake. And hey, if you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe because I've got plenty more rare coins and money-making tips coming your way. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1988 penny? After all, they made millions of them, right? Well, not all 1988 pennies are created equal. The real reason some of these pennies are worth a fortune is because of a minting error, and collectors go absolutely wild for these. There's a rare variety of the 1988 D penny that accidentally used the wrong die to stamp the coin. This error is called the 1988 D wide AM reverse, meaning the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the back of the coin is wider than usual. A tiny spacing mistake makes a penny worth over $1 million? Yup. And that's exactly why this hobby is so fascinating. Small details can mean big money. Alright, so now that you know why this penny is valuable, let's talk about how you can find one. Look for a 1988 D Lincoln penny. This means it must have the Denver mint mark, D, below the date. Flip it over and check the word America on the reverse side. If the A and M are spaced far apart, you might have a winner. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom to get a closer look. The wrong reverse die will have distinct differences, and coin experts can verify its authenticity. The time I almost threw away a valuable penny. Let me tell you a quick, painful story. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my car's cup holder. It was grimy, covered in what I hope was just dried soda, and honestly, I didn't think twice about it. I almost tossed it into the nearest take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station, but right before I let it go, I noticed something weird about the letters on the back. Something looked off. So, I took it home, Googled some coin images, and guess what? It turned out to be a valuable mint error, not $1 million one, but still worth a few $100, and trust me, so should you. You never know when you're holding something that could change your life. Let's say you've checked your change, and you think you've got a 1988 D wide AM penny. What's next? Cleaning it could damage its value. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Check auction sites to see how much similar coins are selling for. Consider selling it at an auction if it's in top condition. If you play your cards right, your old penny could turn into $1 million payday. That boring little coin in your pocket could be worth millions. Tiny details like a wide AM can turn a regular penny into a rare collectible. Never throw away change without looking at it first, because once it's gone, you might have just lost a fortune. If you found this video helpful, or just love the idea of making money from coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin hunting tips. And hey, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? Or are you going to start checking now? Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you just found a random penny in your couch cushions and decided to Google if it could make you rich. Either way, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that looks so ordinary, you probably wouldn't give it a second glance. But what if I told you this little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, or, if you're like me, enough tacos to last a lifetime. Now, before you start frantically checking every penny in your house, let's break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and what you should do if you find one. Plus, I'll share a personal story about the time I thought I found a rare penny, only to end up with something very, very different. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. So, what makes this specific penny so special? I mean, it's just a regular OL Lincoln cent, right? Wrong. The 1989 Lincoln penny usually has a small D or S mint mark under the date, showing it was made in Denver or San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark, that means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, that wouldn't be a big deal, except for a rare error that makes some of these pennies one of a kind. Well, some 1989 no mint mark pennies were accidentally struck using a proof die, which is usually reserved for special collector's coins. This gave them an incredibly sharp, detailed design and a mirror-like finish, far different from your average penny. And now, here's the kicker: because this mistake was never supposed to happen, only a handful of these error pennies exist today. And collectors? Oh, they're willing to pay big money to get their hands on one. No mint mark under the date. If there's a D or S, sorry, you're out of luck. If your penny looks like it's been dipped in glass, you might be onto something. Lincoln's beard, the words Liberty, and the Lincoln Memorial should look extra crisp. The best way to confirm if you've got the real deal? Take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC. If they certify it as an error coin, congratulations, you just hit the coin jackpot, alright, the moment you've been waiting for. How much can this bad boy actually sell for? In top condition, a rare 1989 no mint mark error penny has sold for as much as $1.6 million. Even if yours isn't in perfect shape, a slightly worn version could still fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's right. A penny worth more than most houses. Let that sink in. And now, I have to share a little story with you. A few years ago, I was convinced I had found a rare penny. I was at my grandma's house, digging through an old jar of coins, the kind every grandparent seems to have, and I spotted a 1989 penny with no mint mark. I nearly fainted. I rushed to show my grandma, expecting her to freak out and celebrate with me. Instead, she just looked at me, completely unimpressed, and said, "Sweetie, that's just a regular penny. No crisp details. Just a regular, beat-up old penny." But hey, maybe you'll have better luck than I did. If you think you found a 1989 no mint mark penny with the rare proof-like error, here's what you need to do: use gloves to avoid damaging it. No fingerprints allowed. Compare it to regular 1989 pennies. If yours stands out, that's a good sign. Send it to PCGS or NGC for official certification. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or eBay for collectors can fetch you the best price. Remember who gave you the tip. Just kidding, unless you really want to split the profits. The incredible story of the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A tiny copper coin that could be worth more than a Ferrari. And now, before you run off to check your piggy bank, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I post regular videos on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Plus, I promise to keep it fun, informative, and maybe even a little ridiculous. And hey, if you've ever had a moment where you thought you found a rare coin only to be completely wrong, drop your story in the comments. Let's all laugh at our near misses together. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this thing is probably worth a penny? Well, you might want to grab your change jar and start checking, because today, we're talking about the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most surprising coins in the world of numismatics. A simple penny, something you probably walk past on the street without a second thought, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in today's market. And before you go digging through your couch cushions, stick around, because I'm going to break down why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what makes it different from the millions of other 1988 pennies out there. Plus, I'll share a hilarious story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin, one that could have paid off my car. Let's get into it. Most pennies from this year were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't place a mint mark on their coins. So, at first glance, this penny looks totally normal. Nothing flashy. Nothing fancy. But here's where it gets interesting: some of these pennies were struck with a rare die transition error. Basically, this means the US Mint was in the process of changing how they made pennies, and a few coins accidentally got a mix of designs. The key detail collectors look for is the 1988 penny with a 1989 reverse design. A 1988 penny with a tiny mistake on the back that makes it insanely valuable. It's like finding out your old childhood toy is now worth thousands, except this is just loose change. The key detail to look for is the FG initials, standing for Frank Gasparo, the reverse designer. On the rare version of this coin, the initials are spaced slightly differently because the US Mint started using a new design in 1989, and a few 1988 pennies accidentally got stamped with it. If your penny is scratched up or looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, it won't be worth millions. The highest prices are paid for coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. Get it authenticated. Don't just take my word for it. If you think you've got the rare version, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, let me tell you about my own brush with coin collecting fate. A while back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. We found an old coffee can filled with pennies, literally a grandma's secret coin stash. I almost dumped it into the Coinstar machine at the grocery store, but something told me to check through them first. Lo and behold, sitting right there among the crusty old pennies was a 1972 double-die Lincoln penny. Not quite as rare as today's 1988 penny, but still worth a few $100. Imagine if I had thrown that away? It was a life lesson in patience, curiosity, and checking your dang pocket change before cashing it in. So, before you spend that next penny, take a second look. You might be holding onto a tiny fortune. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is valuable because of a rare die error that accidentally used a 1989 reverse design. If you have one in pristine condition, it could be worth up to $1.7 million to the right collector, and if you're sitting there thinking, man, I've never checked a penny in my life, now's the time to start. If you find something interesting, get it graded, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button because I've got more incredible coin finds, money-making strategies, and rare coin secrets coming your way. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, and share this with your friends, because you never know who's sitting on $1 million penny and doesn't even realize it. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever found a penny lying around and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one little penny, just like the one you probably stepped over this morning, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has surprised collectors with its insane value. And trust me, you'll want to check your loose change after this. I actually had a wild moment with this penny myself. I was sorting through some old change, sipping on my coffee, when I spotted a 1971 penny. My heart skipped a beat. I thought I had struck gold until I realized mine had a tiny scratch on it, which basically meant I was still broke. But hey, that's the thrill of coin collecting, right? So, what makes this penny worth a fortune? Let's break it down. The 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most of these pennies are just regular old pocket change. But every now and then, a special error or unique characteristic makes one incredibly valuable. So, what's the deal? How does a common penny go from being worth 1 cent to $1.8 million? It all comes down to a rare mistake at the mint. Some of these 1971 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, which means they were made from a different metal than intended. Others have crazy errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even a missing clad layer. Collectors go absolutely wild for these mistakes. Why? Because they're rare. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover, except this one can buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with enough for a lifetime supply of pizza. So, how do you know if your 1971 penny is worth millions or just, well, a penny? Here's what to look for. If it doesn't have a small letter, D or S, under the date, it was made in Philadelphia. That's step 1. Look at Lincoln's face, the words Liberty, or the date. If they look like they're slightly doubled, you might have a valuable coin. If the design isn't centered properly, that's a good sign of an error. Some of these pennies were mistakenly struck on silver or other metals. If your penny looks different, get it checked. Alright, let's talk money. Some of these 1971 no-mint mark pennies have sold for life-changing amounts. One rare error penny, in perfect condition, went for $1.8 million at an auction. Another slightly lower graded one sold for over $100,000, still a pretty good payday for something you could find in your couch cushions. Imagine the person who spent one of these pennies at a gas station for gum, never knowing they just threw away a fortune. Yikes, let's say you check your change jar and boom, you find a 1971 penny that looks promising. What do you do next? Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm its value. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers specialize in rare coins. eBay, Heritage, and even some Facebook groups have collectors willing to pay big bucks. This penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting is exciting. It's like treasure hunting but without a pirate ship. You never know when you'll stumble upon something rare and valuable in the most unexpected places. I always tell people, never ignore your change. One time, I was about to toss a penny into a tip jar when I thought, let me check it real quick. Sure enough, it was an older wheat penny, not a $1 million one, but still worth a couple of bucks. Moral of the story, always check. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go grab that jar of change, dig through your pockets, and start checking those 1971 pennies. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more crazy coin stories, strategies, and tips coming your way. Leave a comment below if you've ever found an unusual coin, or if you're about to start checking your change for the first time.